welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you on a little walk with me along the Avon River path out from Bristol towards Pill. Now I've done that walk many times in both directions, but this is a graffiti trail along the river path. I've called it Out to the Bumps and you'll see why in a few minutes. So here we are on the Clifton Suspension Bridge looking down the gorge towards Avonmouth, so looking west. And just down at the edge of the path, the furthest you can see down there, your eye will catch a very tiny glimpse of blue. You think, well, what is that down there? Well, that's what we're going to go out and look. So let's get going. So here we are in the nice end of the docks, the touristy end. Lovely sunny day. As you can see, there's a lot going on in the docks. This was a Saturday morning. You can see the SS Great Britain up there. You might go and visit that if you come here as a tourist. The Matthew, which is the replica boat that John Cabot went to discover the Americas in, pottering around the docks. Or you could be even more adventurous and try canoeing or rowing or going on paddle boarders like these youngsters here. And rather you than me. Quite frankly, this is not clean water. We've had warnings for many, many years about, you know, rat wee in the water in the Bristol docks, so it's not as clean as you think it is. Although the gulls seem to find plenty of fish to eat, so can't be that bad, can it? So we're going to walk towards the less touristy end of the docks, the more industrial area. We're going towards the swing bridges on our way out of Bristol. Towards that, there's a big chimney you can see over there. That is the last working boatyard on the docks, called Underfall Yard. So let's go off in that direction. This is down the non-touristy end of the docks. From the swing bridge here, we're outside a pub called the Nova Scotia, or the New Scotia, which is named obviously in commemoration of Cabot's trip to the New World. This is the first big piece of graffiti we're going to see right outside this pub. And down this end, you can see the swing bridge. Just having a look at some cormorants up on this lamppost here. And walking towards the, the other swing bridge and the lock gates, you're going to see a lot of muds. And we're going to start seeing some graffiti under the bridge as we go further on. We're now walking away from the docks along what's called the New Cut, where the River Avon skirts around the city. Lots of history about this. You can Google it, look it up. It's supposed to have been a lot of it built by Napoleonic prisoners of war or something. I don't know all the details. I'm not a historian. So we're walking along here. We're going towards an unofficial skate park, which is under the flyover, which has been grown up for many years, and we're going to see a lot of graffiti here. Very figurative artwork in Bristol, I've said before in my videos on Bristol graffiti. Lots of human faces, lots of animal faces. This is generations of kids that have grown up with cartoons on the telly, so you're going to recognise some of them perhaps. And yeah, let's go towards the skate park. Here we are in the skate park. It was very quiet today. I don't know why. There's usually some kids around practicing. And lots of nice artwork on the columns here. Especially this one here. I like this one here, this depressed looking cat here holding a spliff in one hand. Is this somebody's portrait of themselves perhaps? I call this the cat turd graffiti. Those of you on social media will know what I mean by that. And yeah, various bits of graffiti, some of it's just tagging. This is very nice. We've obviously got an R. Crumb fan here, Robert Crumb, famous American cartoonist, with his Keep On Trucking comic. And you're not actually allowed to reproduce his work. He's fought several court cases on copyright issues. I think he's won some and lost some. But we've obviously got a fan down here, and this is extremely well done. So the only way I can show you a bit of Crumb artwork is to show you the Wikipedia page of his comic Keep On Trucking. So there we are. So now on the Avon River path itself, if you walk all the way, it's 4 miles to Pill. We're going out towards the suspension bridge, and you can look across from here to see Hotwells, where there used to be the Rocks Railway, and in front of the portway over there you can see a lot of collapsing wooden structures, which are the landing stages that Victorian people, Edwardian people would have got off on when they came up to Bristol to go to the spa and take the waters at Hotwells. All very fascinating part of Bristol's history over there. And as you walk along this path, you're going to see a lot of reminders of why we live in the European rainforest. You can see, a lot of wet plants here, lots of ivy, lots of lichens. Just proves, that, we used to be a forested island, a very wet island, with our Atlantic miserable, cloudy, wet weather, and all these plants would have thrived, and they still do, down here by the river. You're going to see little items of the current maritime heritage and the old maritime heritage, like a little lighthouse here to guide ships up the river around these awkward bends, and these iron mushrooms that you'll see every few 100 yards along the riverbank. There's a lot more of them actually on the way to Pill than there is here, but you'll see one or two near Bristol, and they are for tying ships up to, at a time when there was a lot more river traffic than there is now. So you're going to see lots of odds and ends. Some of these iron mushrooms have been painted snazzy colours, and some of them you will still see the legend on them that they were created by the merchant venturers. And here we are, we've passed under the suspension bridge on about another half a mile, and here we are, we've arrived at the bumps. Well, here are the bumps. Now, this is the graffiti artist who I featured in, I think, my very first, in my video series on Bristol graffiti. The series is called Oddities Round Bristol. And I asked in that video, why anybody would choose this image, which is actually a child's cartoon image, as their logo, as their brand. It's quite odd, isn't it? It almost indicates that the person doing this has some sort of maybe disability. I don't know. Maybe feels a bit that they're like an outsider. Anyway, they've called themselves Bumpsy, which is a tip of the hat to Banksy, the famous Bristol graffiti artist. And I really admire the dedication of this. Now, there's going to be some people who say this is terrible. This is defacing the Avon Gorge. Well, don't worry, these rocks here, there's nothing prehistoric about this. The whole gorge was quarried for, hundreds of years. These rocks are just basically debris from the quarries. So don't worry about them being prehistoric or anything. And the other thing I would say is this was done earlier this year, maybe around Easter time, and it's already starting to wear off with the wind and the rain. So this graffiti is not forever, it's transient. I actually admire the dedication this must have took, because this isn't done with spray cans. Somebody actually hauled some real paint cans out here and did this properly. And I think this is really charming, actually. Another couple of years and this will have worn away with the weather, so I thought I'd capture it for you now. So I hope you've enjoyed our little walk out to the bumps. And yeah, I hope you recognise with me that there's graffiti and graffiti, and some of it we should actually champion and say, yeah, this actually is an addition to our cultural landscape, not disfigurement. It actually makes you smile, come round the corner, see this, you can't help but smile, can you? I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.